I could make all the mountains spell your name, and all the old streetcars dance in the rain, and promise to hold you for all my days. It wouldn't be enough to show.
So hi guys, as you can tell, this is a bridal themed video. This is the second video in a mini series that I'm doing with bridal looks. The first video was actually a nail tutorial teaching you how to do the basic French manicure and how to embellish that for your wedding day. This look is the more traditional look. It incorporates a lot of soft pinks and really smoky purples. It is neutral at the same time. You do get a little bit of color with this look. And the reason why I'm doing this series is that not everybody can afford to have a professional makeup artist there. And I think that every bride deserves to be gorgeous. So even if you are really trying to cut back on your budget, this is a really easy look to accomplish. You can try it out, a couple weeks before at least, just so that you get the hang of it down for your actual wedding day. And you have a look that is very versatile. The third part in this series is actually going to be a more dramatic look, which would definitely work for more of the ethnic weddings that we have here in our country and in the Caribbean. It can work for Hindu weddings, it can work for Muslim weddings, or just if you're looking for something that has a little bit of punch on the whole. So definitely look forward to that video. So if you want to stay tuned and see exactly how to do this look, just keep watching. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is prime our lids. And I'm using a BBQ primer potion. And what the primer will do is actually help the base not to crease, and it'll make sure that your makeup stays crease free all day, regardless of how hot it is or how long you have to wait. So base, I'm going in with Max Paint Pot and Painterly. I'm applying this all over the eye, starting from the lid all the way up to the brow. This base, you can always use something that's skin tone, or you can use something that's white as well too. Just be aware that white is going to pop the colors a little bit more. So if you're going for something that's a little more subtle, then stick to something that's closer to your skin tone. So the first color we're actually going to use, it's a gold pink. It's like a very pretty pinkish gold. It's actually a pigment from Helena Rustique, and I'm trying to see if I can swatch it here for you guys so you can see. That's what it looks like, and it's called Fairy, and I absolutely love this. This is one of the pigments that I use a lot on my brides. If you do not have that, however, you can actually use something that is a little bit on the flesh tone side, or you can use something that's sort of cashmere, or even something that's slightly pink, frosty pink. So something like this would definitely work, and this is from my Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. It's the second one down right here. So those are just other options. Helena Rustique also has a couple other pigments that you could probably be able to check out depending on the theme color of your wedding. This one is called Angelic, which is a little more peachy pink. So this is a good option if Fairy is not available. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that Fairy using a flat shader brush, just like this. And I'm going to pack that all over the entire lid. So when we're done with that, I'm going in using a blending brush. Any fluffy blending brush will do. And you want to use a brown that is maybe just a few shades darker than your natural skin tone. This is actually quite a cheap brown, and it's called Cafe Latte, and this is the Jordana in color. So it looks like this. Anything around that tone, I prefer it to be matte. But again, you can use your preference as to what you want to have on the eyes. And I'm starting from the outer edge of the eye, and I'm taking this color right into the crease. And this is not supposed to be so dark that you see this stark contrast between that pink, that soft pink that we placed here on the lid, and this color. This color is mainly to add a little bit of depth towards the outer edge of the eye, thereby opening up the eyes a little bit, making you look a lot more bright-eyed. So we want to focus the bulk of this color along the outer edge of the eye and just keep softly blending back and forth until you get the desired intensity that you need. Again, if you want to really amp this up, you can actually just add a little bit of black, maybe a little bit of an extra color in here just to give a little bit of a pop. But I think that this is really soft and very bridal appropriate. So you want to blend it up slightly so that it gradiates as it goes up. And then once we're done with that, what we're going to do is take a matte skin color. And this is from Ambrosia Cosmetics and it's their Lustrous Silk. And it's like a flesh toned color. Let's see if I can show that to you. So it's basically just a matte eyeshadow, and you want to take this, and I'm using a clean brush and I'm going right up underneath the arch of that brow and using whatever's left on my brush to blend out the inner corner here so that everything sort of meshes together. And I'm softening up the top edge of that brown that we placed into the crease using this color. So once we're done with that, we will go in using a matte purple. No, it doesn't have to be matte. I prefer it to be matte because again, we don't want to have too much shimmer going on because then it becomes too distracting. So I'm using this purple from my Wet n Wild Lust palette, and it's the middle purple right here. And I'm taking that on a very fine smudge brush that looks like this, something with a very fine tipped edge. And I'm dipping into that purple. And what I'm doing with this is I'm actually lining the eye, but instead of holding the brush so that the fine line is going against the eye, I'm actually holding it so that it's the thicker part that actually lines the eye. And I'm just starting from the inner corner and slowly working my way out towards the edge of the eye. Now this isn't going to be our final liner. This is actually only here to give a little bit of a softening effect for the liner that we're going to place over this. Now what I want to do is really go back in and sort of soften that out using the same brush. I'm lightly blending it upwards into that pink. You can even use your fingers just to soften it up a bit. Because we don't want to have a harsh edge. We just want a very light hint of purple, just a very small amount peeking through. If you have like a pencil brush or a clean, small detail brush, you can go ahead and use it to blend that out just a little bit. Just to soften it up. Okay, so once that's done, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and apply my concealer. So now that I have my concealer on, what I'm going to do is take a white eyeliner and I'm going to rim the lower part of my eye using this white, the waterline, the lower waterline. I'm using this white liner on that waterline. Again, the white liner will help you to look more bright-eyed and it will give your eyes a bit of light and make them appear larger than they are. So once we're done with that, we're taking that same smudge brush that we used on the top lash line and we're dipping back into a little bit of that purple. And we're going, using a handheld mirror, you want to look up into the mirror and you want to go right up underneath the lower lash line and line right into the roots of those lashes, just like so. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've used some black gel liner, and I've applied a very thin line along my upper lash line, and I've winged it out very slightly towards the outer edge of the eye. I've also gone ahead and filled in my brows. I do have previous videos that show you how to do these things, so definitely be sure to check them out, okay? Once that's done, what I'm going to do is apply a false eyelash. Now, because this is a bridal look, I want to keep this eyelash quite natural looking. So what I did is I took one pair and I actually cut them in half to make what we call demi lashes. So they look like this, and I'm only going to apply those towards the outer edge of my eye using a little bit of eyelash glue. So for the cheeks, we want to keep it very pink and very bridal. To me, that just really says fresh and very bright-like. So you want to use your favorite pink blush, and this is Heartbreaker, and this is an e.l.f. Cream blush, and I'm applying that to the apples of the cheeks. And over top that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a highlight. You want to be really careful with the amount of highlight that you do add, because you don't want to overpower the entire look by using too much shimmer. So having it strategically placed where you need it is actually going to really enhance the look, and it's going to make you look much more natural, because natural skin does have that sort of a dewy, glowy finish. So you want to pick up just a tiny bit, and I'm only going to apply it right to the top part of my cheekbones and blend down into the blush that we have there. And this also goes along the nose bridge and maybe just a tiny bit on the chin. Lastly, for the lips, what I'm going to do now, you want to choose something that definitely is going to give you a long wear. So if you can get something that's color stay or something that is going to last, I suggest that. Another trick that you can do in order to extend the life of your lipstick is use a lip liner that's similar in color, either to your lip tone or to the lipstick that you're using. And you want to fill in the entire lip so that the lipstick has something to adhere to. My NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and this actually, it's not a color stay product, a product that's intended to really last long, but because it's matte and it really adheres to the lips, it lasts a really long time. And you want to stay away from anything that's too shiny and too glossy. It transfers easy, and the more gloss that you have, it's the more that you have to actually reapply, because it doesn't last as long. And I'm using this very pretty soft pink. Right, so the last thing we want to do while we wait for this lipstick to dry, I'm actually going in with my mascara. And the thing with the mascara that I really want to stress to you, especially if you do the demi lashes, which are just towards the outer edge of the eye, you want to build up the lashes towards the inner part of the eye, because at the end of the day, those need to match the fullness that you have towards the outer edge. So you spend an extra few moments just working those inner lashes, particularly where the false eyelashes meet your original lashes. And then when I am done doing that, I'm just going to run through very lightly over the false eyelashes. That's just to sort of adhere my natural lashes to the fake ones. And you also want to do some mascara on the bottom. And now that the lips are dry, now a little bit of gloss really does give you that full, soft, kissable type of a look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going in the center of the lips, and this is Revlon's Color Base in Pink Ice. Looks like this. And I'm just doing it only in the center part of the lips, and it will make my lips look soft and more full because of the shine being concentrated there. And that is it for the bridal.